Okay, here's a short little project. I've got this, I don't know, 15-gallon Femco sprayer that I think I bought for 30 bucks, something like that. It was part of another deal. But I was mostly after this pump. So we plant quite a number of trees every year, which require quite a bit of water. That's why I've got my 318 video of it pumping water out of our pond and doing 250-gallon tank. And then we use that 250-gallon tank to water the trees. I take an old sub pump that came out of our basement because we replace it every year. I take the generator to power the sump pump, and it's just a loud, noisy, heavy affair, but it was cheap. In this particular case, we're going to upgrade it a little bit. This is not a stellar pump. It's only 2.1 gallons per minute at 76 max PSI. So it's not going to be a speed demon, but it's probably going to be a little bit better than what we've got right now because we can run it off the tractor. It's a little bit quieter, so on and so forth, because it's 12 volt. So hopefully one day I can get a 4-gallon per minute pump, and that would be a little bit nicer. But what I did is I went to Lowe's today and I picked up some bushings. This, like I said, this is a short, quick, simple little project. All we're going to do is we're going to put this bushing in here for the, and we're going to use 3/8 tubing. I got a, hopefully you can see that. Make sure on the video you can see it. Nope. So I bought the Pro Pack of 3/8 tubing, 100 feet of it. So we'll probably use 15 feet to get in the 250-gallon tank. I'm actually going to take the pump off of this and mount it to a board. But we've got 100 feet of tubing, and then we'll run the rest of the tubing from the pump. So the pickup will be here. It's already got a strainer on right here on the pump, so that's pretty easy to fix, or pretty easy to drain and everything, so we don't have to worry about it picking something up out of the tank. I probably will eventually buy a strainer on for the tank end. Then the 3/8 tubing will come on here, and from here it will basically, we'll just coil the rest of this up on the deck of the running gear, and then we'll run it up to the tractor, and that's where we will water the plants from. So like I said, this is a pretty easy project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pump off here, get all these, get the connection right here all doped up and everything so it doesn't leak, and then mount it to a board. The board can then be strapped to the running gear, and then we're going to do this with the 455, so have to run some connections up to the battery on the 455 so we can connect to it and go from there. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. For 30 bucks, kind of hard to turn down a sprayer like this. It's never been used, so I'm not too concerned about residue in the pump and stuff like that on new trees and whatnot. I would use my 60-gallon sprayer, but the fact that I spray Roundup and 2,4-D in that 60-gallon sprayer doesn't really enthuse me, even though Roundup is certainly diluted. You're able to dilute Roundup quite a bit. It still doesn't thrill me to be putting it on new trees. So I'm going to work on this project, and hopefully this afternoon we can show you the finished product when we're done. So here's what I came up with for the water. We got the pump there. Instead of the big tank, I'm using some smaller tanks and trash cans that we have. Basically the water's picked up. I've got the end sitting in here right now. But yeah, so powered from the tractor. So trying to keep y'all out of the wind here. So it runs from the battery, that cord right there, runs power supply all the way back to the 12-volt pump. And I mean the 455 will power that perfectly at a nice pace, or a low idle. So I'm going to water some trees, pick it up from this. There's a lot of excess hose here because I'm going to use the big tank eventually for this, but we got some rain the other day, so there's only a couple trees that I want to water. Downfall of this is it's a pretty slow system. At 2 gallons a minute, it's certainly a lot slower than the about 5 or 7 gallons a minute that the sump pump's kicking out. So it will be a little bit slower, but it'll be much quieter because you don't have that generator running. So I'm gonna go water trees. I think this is gonna be a pretty valuable addition and a low cost addition, since I didn't have to really pay 30. I think I paid 30 bucks for the whole sprayer setup, and then I spent another, I think, $40 on tubing and fittings. So Anyway, thanks for watching.